Hello everybody, we are live. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from Gameweek 15. Another stream. Yes, more headaches I think, to be honest, this week. We're hoping for some leak news with with Mr. Erling Haaland. But at the moment, this is how the team is shaping up. I've got 2 free transfers going into this one. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting stream. So hello Syed, welcome back mate. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Doctor. How are you both doing? Yeah, hopefully it's going to be another successful stream, guys. So you can ignore the transfers on the right hand side straight away. I just haven't updated this yet, so let's waiting. So we're waiting on some more news before we make any moves, but yeah, there's a couple of different options I've got. Haaland starts, perfect. If we've got that news, I've been looking at Twitter. I watched a bit of FPL Harry this morning. I know Focal's streaming as well. So yeah, I think it's pretty much confirmed that Haaland's starting. So I hope that's the case. If so, captaincy is probably going to go on him and I just start him. My question mark is really Phil Foden, right? I've got a very big temptation to remove Phil Foden and Salah and actually go for KDB and Rashford. That's kind of like my initial or one of the routes I could go down. It would mean, though, keeping Mitrovic, keeping Tony, and I'm just not sure about that. Syed, what can I do for you, mate? What do you need help with? Hiya, Sebastian. Welcome. Tanoki, horror week back last week. Yes, mate, it certainly was. Back to 1.1 million, mate. Absolutely crazy. But you was right about Meslier being the hero, bud. You said it. You called it. He didn't make 15 saves, but he made 9 registered ones on FPL, which was absolutely amazing for him. But yep, still a red arrow for a lot of people. Foden benched from the same source who's saying that Haaland starts. Well, I think, to be honest, if that's the case, I'm probably going to sell Foden and I probably will go without Salah. I will probably move for KDB because I just think this Fulham fixture is way too good to ignore. Hiya, Mitch. How you doing? Alan, are we in for Solanke or in for Mitrovic? I think Solanke's probably the better shout there for me. I think Bournemouth probably look a little bit better from an attacking perspective than Forest. Hi SJ, welcome to the stream. Trishul, best Anthony replacement or keep for 1 week? I'm not sure what Ten Hag said about him, to be honest. I haven't looked for news on him. I think if he starts, then I would probably keep him because I do think he still offers a great amount of attacking threat. Personally, though, from a City asset, I would say, from a United asset, I think Rashford's still the better one. Sebastian Wilson, I mean, there's a lot of question marks over him, right? But I've got a feeling that illness isn't going to stop him from playing. Isak's obviously out with an injury. They have got Chris Wood as backup as well, but I really don't see Wilson not playing. So I think if you've already made the move, you just hold on to him. I think he's probably going to start. I was thinking about Trossard as well, but I just really like Rashford's fixtures. I don't know. Maybe it's just that United bias in me, right? I've kind of, from game week 14 onwards, I've wanted a United asset in. I almost brought Rashford in last week. If remember on the stream, it crashed. Foden obviously would have come out for Rashford and I would have net scored like 7 points extra. It wouldn't have meant a green arrow for me. It still would have meant a red arrow, but I really want someone from United in the squad. But I do like Trossard as well. That's nothing to take away from him. So, yeah, Rianne, that's what we're talking about, really, with Foden. I'm not too sure he's going to start. So, I think, yeah, get rid of Tony or Mitro for Wilson. I think you probably get rid of Tony. I don't think there's any reason to hold on to him. I mean, you know he's not playing this week. So, let's just say, for example, Wilson is, not starting or only gets limited minutes, whatever the case is. I would say at least you've got Mitrovic that's a playing player. I know it's against City, but I would say just take the red flag player out. And he plays City next week anyway, so makes sense. Is Haaland going to start? We've had some sources that yes, so I'm going to keep the armband on him. I think I'm confident enough that if we've got sources that said that he was out of the squad last week and now he's starting, I think, to be honest, it's got to be done, really. So don't forget a small time when you go big time. I don't think that's going to happen for a long time, bud. Maybe a few years' time, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for the feedback, bud. Really appreciate it. Kobe, how you doing, buddy? Thoughts on Skamaka and Zaha to Trossard and Wilson? I think, to be honest, the Skamaka and Zaha combo isn't really too bad. I mean, is there any other areas of the pitch that you're concerned about? I do like the Trossard move from Zaha. I don't think he's necessarily been hitting it, but I think Skamaka and Zaha are 2 good options. So are Trossard and Wilson. So is there any other areas that you're thinking about? Martial is a good shout, but United rotation is just too random. I agree. I would have loved to have gone with Martial, but I'm not too sure with his injury concerns. Is Cancelo a good captain? I like him as a captain option for sure. I mean, if we've got a clean sheet in there, then I think there's probably quite a big haul coming his way. Abdullah, how you doing, buddy? Callum Wilson going to start. Yeah, we've spoke about this already on the stream. Of course, he has been hit with illness, but I do think he still starts. I'm just, I've been a little bit ill as well this week, to be honest. So I think, to be honest, it's just maybe it's something going around in the UK. I don't know, but yeah, it's that time of year, right? It's the winter months. It starts kicking in. Everybody gets the flu or maybe a bit of a viral infection somewhere. I think he'll be absolutely fine. Tanoki, you're mentally preparing for Mitrovic to score big anyways, despite the fixture. You've sold him. Well, I mean, I think he's going to probably be on the bench for me. I'm not 100% sure though. I've said that, but if I don't go for a striker, because I don't think I'm going to take a -4, my transfer thoughts are if Foden is benched, I'll go Salah to KDB, Foden to Rashford or Trossard. Then I might start Mitrovic ahead of James Justin. I actually think Forest's chances of a clean sheet are actually better than Leicester's. So I might back the attacker rather than the defender this week, and I might actually play Mitro. So could be a haul in there for him, but I don't know. Fulham away from home at the Etihad, that's a tough ask for him. Samuel Joshua, KDB and Haaland, thinking of captaining KDB just to be safe. I do not blame you, Samuel. I think, to be honest, I was leaning, if we got news today that Haaland was either going to be benched or he was an unsure starter, then my captaincy was probably going to go on KDB as well. So I do like him as an option. Abdullah Sources claim Haaland start and Foden is benched. Yep, absolutely, mate. We've heard it. So I think I'm probably going to make the Foden move early, just to in case the website does anything stupid again. But it's a decision of Rashford or Trossard. So I'll be doing a bit of a data comparison probably before I do them. Should you captain Kane? I'm not sure. I think Liverpool. It's going to be probably an open game, I would say, which is why I'm a little bit also reluctant to sell Salah. I think both teams can be got at. I'm not sure he's worth a captaincy though. With City playing Fulham, surely you've got something going on, or someone else to captain there. Should you start Pope and Trippier, or should you bench Trippier and play Gahey because of doubling up? I think you just back the double. I think Southampton away is still a very good fixture, so Pope and Trippier for me all the way. COVID ripping through my family at the moment, hoping my increased immunity from previous infection in Feb will hold. Yeah, Tanoki, there's definitely been an increase in COVID rates. I mean, a couple of my colleagues have got it this week. I've pretty much stayed at home. I haven't been in the office. I was meant to travel to Ireland with my work, but I never ended up going just because, sickness and all sorts of things happening. So yeah, I hope you're well though, bud. I hope your family's okay as well. Kobe, no, not really. The only players I want to get rid of are Zaha and Skamaka, as both of them have frustrated me. Okay, I mean, if that's the case, if you haven't got any other wounds to heal, then I do like those moves. I think in isolation, both of them I've considered upgrades, to be honest. I love Trossard as a pick. I regret selling him so much, but what could you do? So I think he's a fantastic option. Wilson is just, I guess, the sickness flag is something maybe we shouldn't be thinking about too much. Is Kane a keep or transfer out? I think you keep him. They play Leeds next week, right? So just keep him, SJ. Should I play Saka instead of Foden? Sebastian, sorry, what do you think? I'm not sure. Did you ask another question first? Rian, should I play Saka instead of Foden? I would play Saka instead of Foden. I mean, if you're not going to sell Foden, then sure. I would also have a look at maybe selling Foden for someone. I personally think City will smash Fulham 5-6-0. Exactly, Syed. So I'm not sure that Mitro, gets an attack in return. If he does, though, maybe it's worth playing him ahead of Justin, but we'll see. Justin, sorry. Should I captain Rodrigo or keep Haaland in case he starts? I don't really feel like captaincy should go anywhere other than a City asset. I honestly think you should even back someone like Cancelo if you haven't got KDB or someone else. But I'm going to keep the armband on Haaland personally. I think that the website shouldn't be as damaging today. Let's hope. Fingers crossed, because I think a lot more people are wise to it. Like last week, I think caught maybe quite a lot of casual managers off guard, and maybe that's why it crashed. There's so many people making late changes, but hopefully it won't be the same this week. Do you play Ben White or bench him? I think Chelsea are definitely a team that can score goals. I'm not really backing them very much. I actually played Webster last week, and I thought that Chelsea weren't going to get past Brighton, and that was almost the case. So I'm not sure. I think Ben White's a good option still. It depends on who you've got as an alternative to that, to be honest with you, buddy. Tanoki, I'm going Haaland captain and Trippier vice. Nice one, mate. Nice one. I like it. I'll probably stick the vice on KDB if I go for him. Would I sell Foden for a -8? It depends on what your other two moves have been. I think if you're going to be playing Saka ahead of Foden, then just don't sell him. There's just no need. If you've already made the -4, I would say just play Saka. Abdullah, last week was really poor for me. Got 42 only. Hope I get 70 plus points. You and me both, mate. I've had pretty much back-to-back red arrows. I've basically doubled my rank. Yeah, I was at 500k and now I'm at 1.1 million. So don't worry too much. Tanoki, COVID is not a concern. Just the grandparents can't come over. Okay, fair enough, bud. Well, yeah, we'll wish them well, mate. Hopefully there's nothing too serious with them if they do catch it. Mate, will you play World Cup Fantasy? I've been debating it, and it's something that maybe we'll talk about once the stream finishes or towards the end of the deadline. Just because for the next obviously few weeks we've only got limited amount of Premier League time left. I'm going to kind of ask the community really. If you want me to create content, I possibly would. I'm just not 100% sure I've got the viewership of doing it. So let me know if you want the content. I can do it. It's not really a massive issue for me. I'll still put out 1-2 videos a week. As for streaming and other stuff, though, I'll probably hold fire until Boxing Day with a Christmas jumper. But yeah, I'll probably play it. Sebastian, do I start Rashford? I have in my midfield Saka, Martinelli, Trossard and Almiron. If yes, who do I replace? I think, to be honest, the Arsenal boys are probably the ones that you may decide to bench. I would say that Saka's probably... I don't know, Martinelli's been really consistent. I'm not sure there, bud. Maybe you start all 5 of them because they're all very, very good options. I'd definitely start Rashford. Definitely start Rashford. It's just a question of then who do you bench? Who are your forwards? Do you play Saka or Guehi instead of Foden? See, Guehi's a tricky one, mate. It really is. I think West Ham, I fancy them against Palace at home. There's going to be goals in that game. I would say play Saka. I think you've got to back the attacker against Chelsea, really. Abdullah, should I sell Son to Salah for a -4 hit? I don't know. I mean, I like Salah's fixture next week, but here's kind of my reasoning for why I'm looking at possibly selling Salah this week. This Tottenham fixture is possibly quite good, and also Southampton, but I actually think that Darwin might be a good shout. So my thoughts are, what I could easily do here is I could do Salah to KDB, Foden to Rashford, and Tony next week to Darwin. And I think as a Liverpool asset, maybe Darwin is the shout. Even post-World Cup, he might come through as a little bit of the pick, let's say, from Liverpool. So I don't think you take the -4, especially because, I mean, Son is playing Liverpool anyway. You're not really attacking the fixture. You're kind of going for just a different player in the same fixture. So my personal view is keep Son for both these next few weeks. He's got Leeds next week, and then maybe look at getting someone like Darwin in from a Liverpool perspective. Patrick, 49 last week, but with Kane captain, so after all it was okay. Very, very good, mate. I mean, this is the thing, when I mentioned in my team selection video, when I broke down obviously the week, for Kane to have only scored 1 point, for Salah to only score then 7, I just felt like it was an absolute massive missed opportunity for a lot of managers that didn't captain Kane. So I think you got away with one there, Patrick, I'm not going to lie. Kobe, thanks, pal. Would you play Cresswell over Foden if he's benched? Yes, mate. I think if Cresswell starts, I don't think there's any rotation there. I didn't catch how many minutes he got in Europa, but I would probably back him against Palace this week. So I know I've got Zaha in my team, but it's just I'm not convinced with him. It's just I've got other wounds that need healing, to be honest. My forwards are Jesus, Wilson and Haaland. So I would say, it's difficult that is, isn't it? It's difficult. But I suppose because you've got the 3 Arsenal assets, Jesus, I know he scored a 9-pointer last week, a couple of assists. Do you back him to actually score goals? If you do, then I say just remove either Saka or Martinelli then, and play Jesus as the Arsenal attacker. Hopefully that logic makes sense, but I think you need to have Rashford in against Villa. I don't know. I just think you can't have him on the bench. I feel like there's a double-digit haul in him in the next few weeks. Patrick, Rashford this week for Andreas. Not a bad move. I think, we're not probably going to be playing Andreas, right, in the next few weeks. Oh, is Son injured? Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys, I didn't know that news. So, okay. I mean, yes, then I suppose he is someone that you need to take out, but with that much money in him, Do you go Salah though? What have you got? 3 City already. Can you get to KDB? Rian, even if Haaland plays, couldn't be rusty coming back from an injury. I don't think that this man, Rusty and Erling Haaland, should never be put in the same sentence, I don't think. I understand the point, but I can't see it, mate, to be honest. I just feel like this man he's a machine. Like, it doesn't matter, these small injuries. He had them at Dortmund. Like, if you have a look at his season history for Dortmund, he had 2-3 weeks out, and then he comes back in and he scores a hat-trick again. It's just, I don't think the man can be stopped, to be honest. SJ, which one is better? Solanke in for Tony, Trossard in for Odegaard, but half to play either Mings or Gahey, or Solanke in for Tony, Almiron in for Murphy. You've got a lot of options there, right? Let's just think about this one. SJ, right. Solanke in for Tony. I like that as a pick. Trossard in for Odegaard. I'm not 100% sure that's a kind of must or need, but sure. Odegaard's more of a kind of, let's say, deep line playmaker, so fantasy is not exactly the perfect asset. But you're half either playing Mings or Gahey. In that scenario, I would probably play Gahey, not Mings. I think we're going to do some damage against Villa. A little bit United bias, but I do think we're going to come out swinging. And Almiron, look, again, I'm definitely going to accept where give credit where credit's due, because this man has been on absolute fire over the past few weeks. But the same thing happened with Jesse Lingard and other individuals in FPL, where there's like a bandwagon thing of them. They go on this crazy run, and then all of a sudden they blank for 5 weeks. And I've just got a feeling that Almiron might blank in these games. I'm just, again, this is just a feeling. The statistics back him up to be that he's okay as an option. So yes, I still think that he could be a good choice as well. Son for Bernardo, potentially, but I think if you can go KDB, Abdullah, mate, I think KDB's the one. KDB 100%. Like, KDB over Salah for this week and next is an absolute no-brainer for me. 2 home games, Fulham and Brentford. You know, Fulham are absolutely pathetic defensively in the central areas specifically. And then also, I just think with Brentford as well, they're not particularly amazing at keeping clean sheets. Tanoka, you've seen him play, and it's honestly insane. The athletic mid-air jumps and precise flicks into the goals. Yeah. Almiron or Wilson. If you've got a choice between, I think you go Wilson, just because Wilson's on penos. I mean, I know he's flagged, but I do think he'll play. Yes, so I think it is Abdullah. The -4, 100%. Son's not going to play. Apologies again, I didn't realise that he was injured. KDB's fixtures over the next few weeks, more than justified. Doctor, you captained Trippier last week. I am Jose Mourinho. Congratulations, mate. What a captaincy that was. I think he could have had even more than 11 points, to be honest. Very good shout. Tanoki, I do wonder if that sort of play style might be what is causing the injury proneness. Probably. I wanted to bring in Wilson because of Tony's suspension, but have 3 Newcastle players already. Brought in Jesus for Tony. Hope he gets at least an assist. Okay. Newcastle differential, Bruno G. Yeah, Bruno G's a good one as well, but I think he's been slacking in terms of the FPL points though, right, in recent weeks. Yeah, Samuel, that is a bit of an annoyance, I suppose. But I do like Jesus as an option. I do like him as an option. I just think, like I said, it's more about how much. I know you're saying it's assist at least, but you've brought in a striker, so you want him to score goals. That's what we want the strikers doing, right? What are we at time-wise? Okay, 10 minutes time, I'll probably start making some moves. Play Gahey or Mitrovic? Gahey or Mitrovic? I think you play Mitro. Like I said, I still back West Ham to beat Palace, to be honest, at home. So I think that there's going to be goals in that game. And Mitrovic, who knows? You can't write off a penalty taker or a striker in a game like this, to be honest. I don't think Fulham will get much of the ball. I don't think they'll get many chances. But the XG and the numbers that Mitro puts out, like I said, I'm actually personally thinking of doing this. If I do go for 2 midfielder options, then I'm probably going to be doing this in terms of my team. So I think I will be playing Mitrovic. You know, it would have been Ivan Toney being played, which is a bit of an annoyance, but what can you do? What can you do? So yeah, Mitrovic, Rian for me. Sebastian, so I play 3-5-2, so I benched Jesus. I hope he does not get over 9 points. Yeah, like I just mentioned to Samuel, I do like him as an option, but I think in your scenario, you've got 3 Arsenal attackers, so I just feel like you need to bench one for Rashford. Syed Abdullah, honestly, I would take the hit. It just depends on who you have as your attacking options. Just remember next week, then unlimited transfers. Yeah, I think personally that -4 is more than justified. Who should you sell for Trossard, Bowen or Maddison? Oof. I mean, Maddison's not even a bad option. I think you keep Bowen. There's 2 home fixtures back to back. On penalties more than likely. I know he missed one, but I still think he probably takes them unless Rice supersedes him with captaincy. I just think, yeah, you keep Bowen. If you want Trossard, then I take Maddison out. Although I'm not convinced with that move. Enhar, great content, Dan. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciated. First plug of the day as well. While we're on that subject, please subscribe to the channel, guys. If you haven't already, we're close. We're close to 500. I want to try and get there before the World Cup. I want to try and get 500 before the end of next week. Help me do it, guys. Help me do it. Samuel. Agreed, I would only bring in Bruno G once Shelvey is starting again. This allows... Yeah, indeed. He's so deep at the moment. I completely agree with that. Rian, will Nico Williams play? I'm backing that he does start against Brentford. And I think because Tony's out, I know Mbermo's a pretty good attacker. So is Wisser as well for Brentford. They're not without their threats. But I think, to be honest, I back Forest's clean sheet over Leicester's. So I'm playing Nico. Justin will just be first bench if he doesn't play. Nico or Gahey, I'll probably go Nico Tanoki. Doctor, your inner Jose Mourinho is telling me to captain Trippier. I mean, it's a good fixture. It's a good fixture. If you want to keep going differential, but it's happened last week, can you get it 2 weeks in a row? Tanoki, I think it's closer than that initially seems. Yeah, I think so. On paper, it's probably maybe a little bit, let's say, glaringly obvious. You back the home fixture. Maybe it's a bit closer than that once you deep dive into it. But I think Nico starts for me ahead of Gahey for you. Any news on Haaland? I think he starts, mate. I'm going to keep the armband on him. As the last I've seen, I mean, I've been refreshing Twitter every now and again here, but the last I've seen is that we've got... last we've seen, we've got news that he's probably going to be starting. Abdullah, I've made a move. Son to KD for a -4. Following your advice, hope it pays off. I hope so too, Abdullah. That's what I'm here for at the end of the day. And if my advice doesn't pay off, it's not exactly the best advice. Sanchez, Nico or Pereira? Play Nico, mate. I think. Do I have tier badges? Do you mean as in like subscriber or membership or anything like that? Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can get members, right? I think I need to get I either need to hit monetization or the channel. I don't think I'm eligible for it yet. I mean, look, there's plans for the channel if it grows that I can do that type of stuff. But unfortunately, no, I haven't got anything like that. No reward without risk. I do kind of agree with that. I think we can forward plan enough where we don't need to take risk. You can take maybe what you'd consider calculated risk. And absolutely, you can get rewarded from that. But, I mean, in Abdullah's situation as an isolated -4, I think that's more than justified. More than justified. Harry, should I take a -8 to bring Trossard in for Mount, Martinelli for Rashford and Mitro for Wilson? I mean, all of those three look very, very promising, I must admit. But I don't know if I would take a -8 for that. I would probably say Trossard for Mount, I probably agree with that. Martinelli for Rashford, I'm not convinced with. I would say a -4 maybe for Trossard and Wilson. That's only on the basis, though, that Wilson starts. And I'm not convinced we're going to get news that he does. I'm backing that he does start. I think an illness is one of those situations where unless it was, literally COVID, I don't think anyone isn't going to start. That's the reality. Newcastle don't have any midweek fixtures yet, so I think he's going to start. Samuel, going to go watch some rugby. Good luck, managers. Good luck, Samuel, mate. Thanks for joining. Appreciated. Good luck for the week as well, bud. I hope your moves pay off, mate. If Foden... Oh, I mean, there's so many people saying Foden were on the bench for City. I really do think that I've got to sell him. What I've got to look at, though, I'm just going to open up Scout and I'm just going to do a quick comparison of Trossard versus Rashford, because these two are the only ones I'm considering, I think. Abdullah, hope Haaland smashes Fulham. I can't see anything more than a hat-trick, or even less than a hat-trick, should I say. Surely, this man, he's on fire. Harry, thank you for the advice. No problem, bud. No problem, mate. I hope it pays off. Like I say, I would just hold fire with a -8. I think that's a bit too strong. -4, though, I don't necessarily mind too much, as we're ahead. We're 2 weeks away from the World Cup anyway, right? Mitro to DCL or Skamaka. I prefer Calvert-Lewin as a punt, to be honest with you, Zem. Don't get that team changes with this crashes coming. Yeah, it's all right. I said, 2 minutes. 1 o'clock, I'll start making the changes. I don't think we're going to get a crash half an hour before. Mitro, DCL or Skamaka. I think DCL, but I do. Harry, yes, I think Haaland starts. There's been plenty of leaks on Twitter from multiple sources, I think, now that have said that they're backing Foden to Trossard. See, I'm going to sell Foden. This is what I'm saying. I'm looking at Foden to Rashford or Trossard now. That's my move next. I think Foden's going to get benched again. I can't keep him in. I almost made the move last week. It didn't pay. Obviously, the site crashed. I didn't press confirm on Rashford in. I do regret that massively, but what can you do? And I can't take that pain again. Nunez or Wilson for Tony. I like Nunez as a differential, bud. I'm going to be honest. I already mentioned him on the stream. I think that I'm personally looking at Salah out, and what that'll allow me to do. I'll showcase what kind of moves I'll be making in the future post-stream if you stick around, or post-deadline, should I say. But Salah, for me, I think actually Nunez is maybe the Liverpool asset we should be looking at. I know he's not on penalties, but I like Nunez. I really do. Abdullah, do I have a mini league? Yes, I do, mate. Do I have a price, for my mini league? No, I don't. It's just a free to join, bud. There's no price. Thoughts and possible moves. Pope, Cancelo, Trippier, Perisic, De Bruyne, Maddison, Zaha, Bowen, Andreas, Haaland and Mitro. So I definitely start, you've got a back, so you definitely start Pope, Cancelo, Trippier. Perisic, I'm not sure, to be honest. But you've only put that as the defender in, so that's kind of your back four then, because your fifth defender, I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it's going to be budget. So if it's Nico or someone like that, I'd probably play Nico ahead. So you go Pope, Cancelo, Trippier, Nico. De Bruyne, Maddison, Zaha, Bowen, Andreas. I think you bench Andreas. You play De Bruyne, Maddison, Bowen. I would say Zaha is a potential transfer out for me. If you haven't made any moves yet, I think Zaha to Trossard, Zaha to Rashford could be very, very good. And then Haaland and Mitro. So again, if you've got, I don't know who your third striker is. If it's someone like Ivan Toney, then potentially he could get sold. If not, then Mitrovic to Wilson, I like. If you've got money to spare, then I would say Mitrovic to someone like Darwin is very good. Mitrovic to DCL, I think, is also a good option. Joe Davis, Kane and Maddison to KDB and Wilson for a hit. I mean, I do like Kane's next fixture. That's my only problem. And I think he can do something against Liverpool. So I'm not sure about that for a hit. But I really like KDB's next two fixtures. I would say yes, Joe. Go for it. Why not? We're so close to the World Cup now. George Kent, all right, mate. How we doing? We're good, George. We're good. Obviously, we're hoping no crashes at the moment. I'm going to do my first move very, very soon. Foden's probably coming out for me. I'm just going to have a look at some stats in a minute. Zem, you have Robertson on the bench, so I can just start him over Foden. Very good, mate. Very good. I think against Tottenham, maybe there's an assist in there for him. Potentially, the game ends scored goalless as well. Abdullah, who's top of my mini league? I'll have to have a look, bud. Just give me 5 minutes and I'll check on the stream. You've just done your transfer, Salah to KDB. Good luck, Syed. I think that's going to be my move as well, but we'll have a look. Seth, play Webster or Gahey. Webster for me all day long. I back West Ham against Palace, and I think Wolves are just, at the moment, they're piss poor. Excuse my language, but they just are at the moment. You know, from a frontline perspective, Costa got a red card. Their signing in the summer got injured. Jimenez is still injured. I just think their threat, it all comes from the midfield. It all comes from Neves and Podence, right? They're probably the two players that come through for Wolves, but they're not consistent enough. So Webster all day long. Hope KDB and Haaland beat Fulham 10-0. Man, that is the dream. Absolutely. Right, let's check my mini league and then we'll have a look. So we've got Moses Morway at the moment who is top. I'm not sure. He's not been in there for long. Syed he's pretty much had the season of his life by the sounds of it. Because when he's joined the stream before, he's had some fantastic moves. So he's up there. We've got Ian. We've got Tom Hardman. I haven't seen Tom for a while. He was watching a lot of the content at the beginning. But I don't know if he's still engaged or not. But well done to him because he's had a very, very good season. He brought Alma on in at some point. We've got Patrick. Ronald Gnarly, SJ, obviously, look, 3 points ahead of me here. So there's a few of you that are in the stream as well, which I appreciate. But yeah, we've only got, 45, 46 people in the mini league. It's completely free. The code is on the left-hand side of the screen. After the Twitter handle, you'll see it scroll across and you can just use that code. There's also a link in the stream, I believe, as well. But yeah, please join it. It's just, it's a bit of fun at the end of the day. I don't know, like I said, I'm going to have to do some research into what I can do for other seasons. You'll get listed in the channel forever. If you win it, then I'll put your handle, whoever you are, essentially in the content. So at the moment, it's just to be confirmed for the champion of this season. But I'll do that moving forward for all of my content. Looking at Diego Costa back in the Prem feels like a fever dream, mate. I don't understand that purchase. I mean, I just didn't get it. I thought this, the attitude that man has, but he's not the same player, right? Like the aggression he played with at Chelsea, it's never gone. It's never gone, and I'm just not so sure that it was the right move for Wolves. But it was desperation. They needed someone. Start Gahey or Zuma, or Gahey, Zuma, Williams. Ooh, that's a close one. I think, to be honest, I would probably go Zuma as the first option, just because I'm not convinced that Williams 100% gets consistent minutes. I back West Ham to beat Palace. I'm just not 100% sure that Palace won't score. That's my only thing. So it would probably go in order of Zuma, Williams, Gahey for me, Devin. So that's a different side I've joined this week, so it should update next game. Okay, I just assumed because of the higher points that it was you, bud. So apologies, but yeah, 100% you're having an absolute quality season. Right, let's do some business. So we're gonna have a look at Rashford versus Trossard. Overall, Trossard is probably the better option, but I really do want a United asset in. I think there's an interesting thing as well because Bruno misses out. I do like Bruno as a creative player, but maybe it just gives Eriksen just that little bit more freedom and just that little bit more, because I love Eriksen as a player. I think his attacking understanding, let's say, of where to place the ball at the right time, I actually think it might pay off dividends for Rashford this week. Give me a sec. Right, so George, 2 free transfers. Going Salah to De Bruyne, need a replacement for Foden with 10.2 in the bank. So George, I'm going Trossard or Rashford are my moves from Foden. Syed, would you play Nico Williams or Saliba? I'm leaning towards Nico. Yes, I think I would go Nico. I think Chelsea might score, but I don't know. I feel Arsenal, man, they're on a very good run. That's a close call for me. Kareem, thanks for the spam, bud. Chill, please. I think you play Ward, to be honest, over Ramsdale. Again, I would probably say Chelsea have a goal in them. London derby is always going to be a difficult one to call. Thanks, Sanoki, for your help, mate, as well. God, I'm really not convinced on the Trossard or the Rashford move, but I think I'm going to go with my gut. And I was going to put Rashford in last week, And I think I'm going to go Foden to Rashford. I'm going to check some more Twitter news as well, just to have a look. But like I say, I've had so many people now looking like Foden's benched. It's just, again, it's all over. It's just, oh my God. You got to love it, though. You got to love the drama. Mitro, Trent, DCL, Zuma. I do like West Ham's fixtures. From a defensive point of view, I'm not fully sold on them, but I do think that that's not a bad move at all. I like Calvert-Lewin as a punt. I actually would have probably gone for him if it wasn't for the Foden benching situation. I'm not 100% convinced, but I think it's going to be likely. Which club do I support? I support Manchester United, mate. Seth, you have Tony, Foden and Haaland. Currently thinking of Tony to Wilson. Do I need to make any more transfers for a hit? I don't think so. I feel like with Foden though, there's an issue. I don't know. Maybe it's worth holding on for the extra 20 minutes, but I'm not convinced. I think he just needs to be sold. I know Tony's red flagged, but just Foden might only come on for 20 minutes. Maybe he does something. It's just such a horrendous situation. I brought him in personally for a -4. I don't know. Let's just go back to the question though, Seth. Do you make any more moves other than Tony to Wilson? I don't think so. I think if you want to make that move, I still like it. I just think you've got to prepare that Foden might be benched again. Tanoki going for Ward going forward. Yeah, going forward. Sebastian, Haaland start. We think so. He's got the armband currently for me. Pope or Ward? 100% Pope, mate. Welbeck, I like him as a punt. I'm not sure with him. I think Trossard. If you're going to go for a Brighton attacker, you go Trossard. Abdullah, we will get team news from FPL Tips and Tricks. I think I started following him. Let's have a look. FPL. Because I think I saw Harry talking about it. FPL Harry, that is. FPL Tips and... He's the biggest letdown for FPL. The thing is, Raptor absolutely smashed it because he got him in at the right time. I think at this point, though, you've got to cut the losses with the benching situation. I'm absolutely gutted that I missed the points that I did with him. And I definitely got into the hype of like, yes, this is going to be a Man City asset in the midfield. We've got someone that's nailed. And I bought into the hype. I'm really trying hard not to swear, by the way, guys, because it's killing me. Like, it's the one move that's pretty much put me in this downward trajectory. If I would have just gone Saka, it would have just... The -4 was such a bad move. I could have kept Trossard or Maddison. And I even spoke about it at the time. I was saying that I really liked Maddison on that week, and then he went and returned. I was overall like 19 points worse off by doing those two moves for Saka and Foden. It's so annoying. Gahey, Justin, Nico, start one. Nico for me, mate. Syed, Pope, Cancelo, Nico, Justin, Trippier, KDB, Martinelli, Bruno G, Trossard, Haaland, Kane. I think that's a very, very good starting 11 there, mate. Now you've sold Salah, I love that. With the KDB in there as well, I think that's absolutely magnificent, bud. That midfield is pretty strong. I do think Bruno G is a great differential, but as already mentioned from another viewer, I think he's playing just that little bit too deep, though. From a FPL point of view, we want him just that little bit more forward. Seth, if you keep Foden, I can start Gahey or Nico ahead of him if that's smart. I suppose you could do. If we get news 100% that he's going to be benched, you could always start Nico ahead of him. It's not too much of a drama. And of course, Foden can come off the bench and he can do something. I said before, when he come on 30 minutes against, I can't remember who it was now, but he brought a new energy to one of the wings. So 100%, if Fulham have an absolute 60, 70 minute run out, which they're going to have against City, you'd expect them not really to be chasing the ball much, though. You'd expect them to be holding quite deep, and City will have to break them down, essentially, right? But if they come out and they try to play football against City, I've got a feeling that they might run themselves dry. So I can see the upside of keeping Foden 100%. I can see that if he comes on even for 30 minutes, he could do some real damage. But it's just that the holding on to him in the simple fact that, like, he could, it's all just coulda, woulda, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I just don't like living by that. I want consistency. I want someone that pretty much is nailed for at least 70 to 80 minutes, maybe even 80 to 90, to be honest. And Foden doesn't look like that anymore. It's so horrible. But anyway, we're already 1:15 nearly, so I think I'm going to make the move for Rashford. I'm going to check Twitter one more time. Okay. Leaked lineups. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're just going to have a look at to see if there's a leaked lineup. And then if there is, then I do it. Anyway, right. Sebastian, squad is Lloris, Akanji, Cancelo, Trippier, Martinelli, Trossard, Almiron, Saka, Rashford, Wilson and Haaland. Have you already made your move, Seb? I can't remember if you did or not. So it is a mad risk to keep Foden for 30 rather than Rashford 90. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Rashford gets 90 though. I will caveat that. I don't know if he gets 90 minutes, although he did only play limited minutes against Sociedad. Channa, please confirm if Foden has been benched. I don't know yet. I've basically requested a follow onto leaked lineups. So it's at Team News and Ticks. So I don't know. We're waiting a couple of minutes just to see if he does this. If not, I might just quickly have a look to see if. Let's have a look on. Okay, so FPL Harry has just said that Haaland and Foden are apparently benched. Yeah, that's what I've just watched that. I've just literally watched that, Abdullah. So I think, to be honest, what I'm going to do, it doesn't really change too much of the plans, because we already said we're probably going to put Salah to KDB. Fucking KDB, sorry. So I think these are the moves. The only problem I've got now is that I've got Haaland. Do I start him? The thing is, I could potentially take a -4. But yeah, Pep Roulette, man, it just annoys me so much. It really does. So De Bruyne has to be captain. So this is the problem now, right? I need to make a move for captaincy because there's nobody else that I will want to make a move for. So Salah to De Bruyne is happening. Should we confirm that we can't do that because we need to do Foden to someone? We need to do at least 2 moves. This gives me 1.8. The only other thing I could do here is I could play Mitro and I could go Tony for Darwin. Right? So I could take a -4. Servers crashed. Don't tell me that, mate. I haven't confirmed anything yet. Please don't. Right, what do we think about this -4? Because I mean, it was in my thoughts anyway. If Haaland got benched, when I would essentially crash already. Oh my god. I'm going to make these transfers and we'll see. Oh my god. Not FPL statistics. Come on. This is a killer. Okay. Which we're almost there. We're almost there. Nah. I think this is going to be an absolute rip week. Oh. How can we help you? Thanks, Google. We're going to be hitting refresh. Welcome to the stream, guys. This is just a refresh. Refresh. I'm on the app as well, so I'm going to have a look on the app to see if we can do it. So, hold on. De Bruyne and Rashford are apparently in my team now. Apparently the transfers did go through. It's just a case now of actually getting the team picked. Right, okay. Captain. Vice captain. So on the app, guys, try using the app because I've literally just used it. No, okay. My transfers have gone in. It's the captaincy that's not happening. But I've got my vice on De Bruyne. Oh my God. I mean, we should learn, shouldn't we? We said, do it early. Do it early. It's just not letting me change captaincy at all. Like, what have we got? We've got 10 minutes of refreshing, guys. What an absolute killer. Winston, good luck to you too, mate. We've got a spinning wheel. We've got a spinning wheel for captaincy. Have we done it? I think we've done it. Okay. The app's gone through by the looks of it. I can't get onto the website to save my life. But yeah, it looks like... I mean, I feel like I'm playing Mitrovic. That looks like that's happening. The other situation now is if I take a -4 and I go Darwin. That would have been my move next week, though. So I'm not sure. Oh my God, what? I've got the captaincy by the looks of it. It's sorted. My transfers are done. Let me just update the stream. Mate, Sebastian, I don't think we do now. If he's benched, I think the thing is with it is 30 minutes of Haaland could still be absolutely amazing. But I don't know, bud. Don't captain him. Don't captain him. Just do whatever you can to get the armband off of him. Just literally, I've got KDB. You just have to keep pressing captain, vice captain on the app, and it does go through. Like, I can't confirm it fully because the website's crashed, but I'm just going to put my... and I'm going to put in brackets, he's my captain now. And then Foden was to Rashford. Right, so that's the moves that I've made. I've got 1.8 in the bank, I think. And what I could do is I could do Tony to DCL. I could do Tony to Darwin. I think I want to do Darwin if I can. The app's back up. Right. Okay, well, the website's still unavailable. I don't think you captain Wilson. Rashford. Yeah, I would say if they're the two captaincy choices for yourself, I'd probably captain Rashford. Captained Almiron, big balls play. Wow, that is a big balls play. So guys, what do we think for transfers? I could take a -4 for Tony to Darwin. The problem is then he's got to at least realistically get 1 goal for me for that to pay off. The great thing is though, I'll have him against Southampton next week. The other option is I just ignore it. I keep Haaland. App's down again, yeah. It's just hitting the refresh every single time. Like I've just got spinning wheels on the app. I can't show it on my phone here on stream, but should you stick with Haaland or bring in Nunez? This is what I'm saying. I'm curious now on this Nunez move. I feel like it's a good one, but I'm not sure. I don't know who I captain, Haaland, De Bruyne or Kane. Just keep using the app, mate. Because it's just better. The website is not happening. So anybody that's struggling, just keep going. Keep refreshing. I know it's a multi-billionaire company. It's absolutely crazy. I'd love to know what their infrastructure's like. I mean, I work in IT, not necessarily for web design or servers or anything like that. I'm not really hardware related. I'm much more software related, but still. Hook me up at official FPL. Captain Trippier before it crashed. Nice. Nice. Good luck, mate. 2 weeks in a row now, bud. Foden to Bowen for a -4. Yes. I think Foden being benched, mate, that's it. We're done. Man, everything is just exploding yet again. It's so bad. It really is. Infrastructure's 3 potatoes. Mate, I wouldn't even give them credit for 3. Try 1. Keith Heil, I'm sure you've heard the news. Yes, Keith. Thank you for tuning in, bud. I've gone with Salah to KDB and decided to put the armband on him with Foden to not Rashford, but Rashford instead. Don't know who Rashford is. Haaland better start. I mean, he's actually still in my starting lineup because I can't do anything with the pick in the team. I'm trying to put James Justin in at the moment and confirming it, but Foden to Trossard for -4. Yes. I think so. Ian Evans, if Haaland is on the bench, then we'll defo start versus Brentford at home next week. Can't sell him. I agree. Oh, you can't sell him even if the site comes back. Yeah, well, I just think there's too much value in him for me to mess around. I think I'm actually going to start Haaland. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think I'm actually going to put him in. Just because I think he still plays, and if he doesn't, I've got James Justin as the first bench option. The only other option I've got is I could go Ivan Toney to Nunez for a -4. Start Nunez ahead of Mitrovic and put Mitrovic first bench option. But I'm not convinced with that. Oh dear. FPL. This is all Pep's fault. I mean, come on, just play your players. Like, just why is this even happening? I don't think the World Cup helps, like in the middle of the season. I really don't think it helps because it gives managers a bit of a headache. Like, I don't know if Southgate's sitting there saying, "Look, come on, we need to keep Foden fit." I don't know. I don't know how this all works, right? Yeah, Syed. I mean, I just had Fiverr installed this week. It's just like, it doesn't even matter that I've got Fiverr. It's just, if the servers are absolute dog crap, then what can we do? What can we do? I mean, 3 minutes, guys. I'm really thinking about Tony to Nunez. Let's see if it works. We're going to confirm it, guys. We're going to confirm it, and we're going to see if we can do it. We've got 2 minutes left. We have an unknown error, apparently. Hold on, guys. We're trying to do some things here. Sorry. 2 minutes left. The scramble is real. Tony to Jesus. Could do. But I'm going to back Darwin over these next few. If I can. I mean, I don't think I can even get him in, to be honest. It's not working. Everything, it's just server error after server error. Let's go back to pick team. Yeah, I literally can't do anything. So the captain and the vice captain sorted. Yeah, I've got Haaland starting as well, and then I've got Mitro as well, unfortunately. But hey ho. It'll be interesting to see other people's, like, just the mini leagues and other YouTubers and see what they've done. I haven't tuned into obviously anybody really other than I just watched Harry, but Patrick, you'll see next year deadline for fantasy 2 hours before start. But the thing is, Patrick, I don't think it matters in terms of the timing, right? Because I know they've increased it to an hour and a half to try and prevent the leaks. But the simple fact is that it's happening 15 minutes before the deadline. So even if you extend it to 2 hours, it's still going to happen after an hour and 45 minutes, right? Of, let's say, me streaming. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't think there's an easy solution other than just upping your infrastructure. Winston, Tony to Jesus, yeah, we already mentioned that. Seth, Kane or Rashford captain. I'd still go Rashford, I think. And good luck if you started Haaland, the same as me, mate. We'll have to see. We've got a minute left. Just got KDB captain, had to download the app. Damn, SJ, smooth. You've absolutely smashed that. Well, let's hope it pays off, bud, because it's the website is just completely down. Like, I haven't actually been able to access the website for, I think now 15 minutes. Now I've got game is updating, so we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty convinced that I did have the captaincy armband on KDB. I don't know though, guys. Like, it's absolutely insane. What another nightmare stream, guys. In terms of the deadline, anyway, at least not the actual whole stream. I won't be nasty to myself or the viewers because you guys are absolutely smashing it. But yes, guys, if you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed the stream so far, then hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to get to that 500 mark. I know I keep mentioning it in my videos and my streams, but it would be an absolute amazing achievement for the channel, for the community, for myself as well, to get to that 500 mark. So if you haven't already, then please hit that button for me. Be very, very much appreciated. Patrick, you do not know who you captained. Yeah, like I said, I feel like my app updated at the last minute, and I feel like I got in KDB as captain. Rashford as vice, I think. I've started Mitrovic. I've started Haaland. I've got Nico starting. I'm just not convinced with this game week. Pep's really done some absolute nasties to us in the past few weeks. He really has. He really has. But that's it. That is it, guys. Game is updating. So good luck for this week. Good luck. So I think really, now I've not done the -4, next week, as long as there's no injury that happens for Nunez, I think I'd probably go for Darwin as the 1 week punt next week. I think Tony playing City means that I sell him. I don't think I'll lose too much value in him. I still think I can sell him for the same price that I bought him at. So the 1.8 million should be enough to get me there. But that's, I think, my plans for game week 16 already. But obviously we'll talk about that next week anyway. Sebastian, you captained Almiron because if he gets an 8 or 10 pointer, I'm going to be so happy. Well, I think he's got the potential to. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I just see flickers of Lingard. That's my problem with him, is I think that there will just be this massive run. Everyone will hype onto him. He'll increase by like 0.4 million, 0.5 million. And then he goes on a blank streak for 2-3 games. And people then become reluctant to sell him because it's very similar to Zaha. We hold Zaha because it's like just that next game, just that next game, just that next game. And you keep on that same hype. And it's just very difficult sometimes. And these two fixtures aren't really very good, in my opinion, for Newcastle. I still think there's goals in it. I'll give them respect where respect is due again, credit where credit's due. They're in the top 4. So I can't ignore the fact that the team is good. And Almiron is also a good option. As for a captaincy, I think you've really punted there, Seb. But all the best, mate. I really feel that he could still do some damage. Imagine if Haaland starts now. Well, SJ, I've got him in my team. So he's in the starting 11. I just haven't captained him. I've just captained KDB. And I haven't taken a hit as well this week, which I suppose that maybe was a bit too last minute for me. But Darwin was always in my thinking. So you think your team is Pope, Anderson, Cancelo, Trippier, KDB captain, Trossard, Zaha, Almiron, Mitro, Haaland, vice captain, Kane. I don't think that's a bad squad, mate, to be honest, given the situation. So you've gone 3-4-3. I've also started Mitro. So, look, I'm not expecting big things from Fulham's attack, but what can you do? I've also started Nico, which I'm not convinced with, but against, the option was James, Justin or him. Maybe I should have gone with a solid minutes because I think Nico could be at risk, but I feel like the clean sheet odds are better. So if Nico starts, I feel like there's potentially more from him. Everton's not an easy stadium to go to for Leicester, so that's my situation. But I do like yours, Ian. I think that's a good squad, mate, given the circumstances. Doctor, I'm now doubting myself if I selected confirm on Captain Trippier. Oh, bad. Who did you have before? No, but it doesn't matter. Was you tinkering with it throughout the week? Because you captained him last week, if you didn't move the armband, it will stay on him, mate. Or did you move it to Haaland at some point? What a disaster again. What a disaster again. You moved it to Haaland. Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope you confirmed it to him, mate. I hope you confirmed it in time. Who was your vice? Was your vice defaulted to Trippier? I can't remember how it works. Syed at this rate might have to do deadline stream a day earlier. Mate, it's just... It's not even deadline stream anymore for me. This feels just like, crash stream. 2 weeks in a row, guys. In some ways, it's annoying that I trust that we're going to get team news. In some ways, I feel like I know some time zones think that there's an advantage in the fact that obviously this is the afternoon for the UK, right? Middle of the afternoon, you've got a load of people awake, they're watching for news, watching streams, trying to get information. But in some ways, if I was the other side of the world and the deadline I knew was going to be sort of middle of the night, I'd just make my moves a couple of days ago. And I feel like sometimes it's like less stressful, right? So there's ups and there's sort of, pluses and minuses for both sides. It's crazy. Pet watch stream. Mate, Tanoki, I'm telling you, like, I've obviously backed Foden in 2 watch list videos, essentially. And I asked him not to troll me, specifically. So, Pep, if you do ever watch the stream, bud, or you do ever watch this content, please, come on, man. Phil Foden is a guaranteed starter. He should always be. You know it, I know it. Come on, man. Stop this nonsense. I mean, it hasn't done too much damage to me personally, and I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of, I guess, this community and maybe others as well out there within the YouTube sphere, because we're engaged, we do try to, I guess, make plans, right, for this scenario. What we don't plan for, though, is the website crashing. That's the problem. Like, Pep is only half the battle. We've got Pep Roulette to contend with, but then when FPL's website also goes down 15 minutes before the deadline, it doesn't really help things. Like, luckily, I had a plan in motion already, right? I spoke about it all the way pretty much from the beginning of the stream, that Salah to KDB and Foden to Rashford were going to be the moves. But it's just so frustrating that I can't just click the button and then enjoy talking to you guys and answer questions and help you out. It becomes a scramble, and I'm sitting there looking at my phone for 10 minutes. Last week was Gandhi, and this week it's Pep. Yeah, man. Too true. My God. So I'm watching Harry as well, right? And I feel there's a couple of people in the chat saying that Foden might actually start. This is what I'm saying. It's so annoying because, like, it doesn't matter where you try and get the information from. I'm just never touching a Man City midfielder other than KDB again. I did this to myself last season. I had Mahrez at the beginning of the season. I think I spoke about this before on one of my other videos. I had Mahrez last season, and it was to do with, I think, game week 3. There was a captaincy debate or something in my head about, like, I need a City asset for it, and I had Mahrez in from the beginning, and he got benched. He got benched on that week, and it was really frustrating because it was like I brought him in specifically to attack. I think it was Norwich, or they played somebody or one of the newly promoted sides or a weaker side, and I just, it's the same scenario with Foden now. I just need to avoid City midfielders. I think if there's anything that I can learn from this season, it's to do that. Have I registered for FPL Cup of your own mini league? I didn't even know I needed to register. I thought that it was from it just automatically did it, didn't it? You have Haaland captain, Salah vice. It's a joke. That's what I'm saying. It's so frustrating that the website, like, you as a player, you're obviously an engaged manager because you're sitting there trying to, and even if you're not an engaged manager and you're just someone that's casually trying to play the game, like, it doesn't do the game any service. Like, for me, as someone that wants to create content for this game as well, in the next few years, let's say, whether it turns into a full-time thing, whatever it is down the line for me, I really enjoy the game, and I want to be able to enjoy it with a community and other people watching the stream with me, but I can't because they've just completely messed it up. It's very frustrating, mate, but I hope that the team works out for you, Fazid. I really do, mate. Can I explain the cup format? So I think the way that it works, mate, is the -4s don't get taken into consideration. So I believe it's random. So essentially, whatever your score is, it doesn't take into consideration. I'm not sure with chips. I'm not sure. I think with chips, if you want to win the cup, and obviously you probably bench boost. And I think that if, like, bench boosters score more points than you, I think you lose. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'll have to look at the rules again, but I'm almost certain that's how it works. For me, the cup is a secondary thing. They need it. To be honest, the way I look at it is it should be a separate game to the main game. If they wanted to have people properly engaged in the cup, you'd have it as a separate team, because your main team, you have to make too many sacrifices, in my opinion, to win it. So just in my personal opinion is if this is the kind of first FPL season or one of your firsts, just focus on your main team. Don't worry about the cup. I know the prizes are really good, but just don't worry about it. What actually causes the site to crash? Is it just volume of users, or is it more sinister? Well, I hope it's not more sinister for their sake, to be honest. Because, a DDoS attack or anything like that means that servers can crash. But I think it is, like you've said, it's sheer volume. It's sheer volume of people trying to access the IP, I imagine. There's just going to be something where I'm connecting to that website, or trying to, over and over again, and so are thousands or even millions of other connections. And it can't handle the amount of requests. But that's something where, from a game like, it's okay, they don't really make money from fantasy, but it is the official Premier League's fantasy game, so you just anticipate that they've got the right infrastructure to handle 10 million plus players. And out of those 10 million plus players, not all of them are engaged. And this is what I'm trying to say. If the game ever got to 10 million active managers, they wouldn't be able to handle it. It's crazy. Is Haaland not playing? Well, we think he's on the bench, David. So that's where a lot of the question marks have come from. You had 2 tree transfers, ended up taking a -8. Tanoki, yeah, Cup is secondary to the FPL overall. But do you agree with me that it shouldn't be? Like, I mean, you know, if there's one thing that, like, long term, I'd love to be able to do is to work with this game, because I don't know. Like I say, I enjoy it. I think they could do so much more with it. It could help content creators as well. I know they've got Sky on board with this, you know, new kind of. I've seen FPL Family are on there. But I just think they can do more with it. And the Cup is actually a very, very good concept. It's just make it separate to the official one. I don't think it's too difficult to say register for a Cup. Do you know what I mean? Just have it in a format where you've got your Cup team and you've got your main team. And then anybody who wants to participate in the Cup can just have a choice then. Rather it kind of just being this randomly generated, you've got to use your official team that you're trying to get, let's say, maximum rank on or winning mini leagues for. And you can't make the decision just for the Cup because it'll affect your mini-league rank. Something they need to look at for sure. Abdullah, lineup's coming in 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to stick around, I think, for another, let's say, 10 minutes or so. And then I'll probably call it a day. I won't do 2 hours like I did last week. But yeah, guys, anyway, if we're new to the channel and we're enjoying the content, then please hit that subscribe button for me. We are at, let me hit a refresh. We're at 438 subscribers, so we're 62 away now from 500. I'd absolutely love to get there. I really would. So if you're new and you want to support me, hit that button for me, boys. And ladies, if there's any of you. Tanoki, FPL overall is secondary as owning your mates than teabagging their dead body. Depends on the game, mate. Depends on the game. I went Foden to Grealish and captain him. Thoughts? Wow, that's brave, mate. That's brave. Like, do we know that Grealish starts? Chips don't matter in FPL Cups. Okay. I mean, I'll have to check the rules again, like I said. I'm not sure how they do it. Do they deduct the points if you bench boosted on a Cup week then? Do they just remove the bench boost points? I know they don't. I'm almost certain they don't take into consideration -4s. It's your overall points as far as I know. Keith just didn't see the need to keep Haaland and Foden before the break, so brought in Alvarez and KDB. Already wanted Wilson and Rashford. Fair enough, mate. I understand that. I do understand that. For me personally, I wanted to keep Haaland for Brentford. So there was just no use in selling him for me personally, but I do understand the reasoning. I think Alvarez could do very well against Fulham. Tanoki, the thing is, their main thing is so lucrative, they can't really give a... Yeah, no, I know. I know, mate. Like, this is such a small, minor thing. But the problem I have with it, though, is that when you get someone like Sky, that obviously, you know, at the end of the day, they've obviously got a vested interest that as a broadcaster, they're watching. They know that YouTube content is out there. They know that people are making money from this content, right? And they also know that there's an active amount of managers that are interested in it. So they tap into it and say, right, let's make a little separate piece or channel or area of our normal show. We'll stick it on YouTube as well. Once the broadcaster starts noticing that people are doing well, then surely the official Premier League should know that there's a lot of people now that are interested in this game. When Micah Richards is talking about who he's captaining, who he's not captaining, live on Sky, I think it's getting a little bit of traction. That's what I'm saying. Like, in front of people, it's getting more people involved in the game. So they've got to be careful where, like, if you want the broadcaster to do that, and start saying, look, join this game and like have fun with this and let's talk fantasy on, you know, this area of our, let's say, punditry or breakdowns, fine, but make sure the infrastructure's right. There's just there's a balance that just doesn't seem to be right at the moment. Alex, I'm not sure that Grealish starts, mate. So good luck, but I don't know. I didn't actually get leaked news. I just quickly saw FPL Harry's content at the end of my stream. You think if Mahrez starts, it'll be right side most times? Yeah, definitely. He starts on the right if he gets the game. Abdullah, you got that website open, so just click on that page. You might get rules from that article. Potentially. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if it's under... Nah. Even if you click on help, it still just says available soon. Might as well stay till 2 p.m. so we can get the lineups. Yeah, I'll stick around till 2 and we'll have a little look. But yeah, Haaland looks like he's on the bench by the looks of it. From what Harry's talking about at the moment, he's saying that Haaland, I think, is bench. There's a few people that have mentioned that already anyway. Not ideal. Sonoki, if Haaland is off, Alvarez is up front. Yeah, definitely. Mara's on pens too, probably. Excuse me. Arsenal English Premier League winner. Big shout. I don't think City are going to lose against Fulham, mate. It's a big ask. I do think Arsenal are going to be guaranteed top 4, though, mate. They are looking like a very, very strong squad. Sashin, there was 14 minutes for the game week to end. Got news about Haaland not starting. Substituted to Alvarez and was about to confirm it, and boom, the website crashed. Did you use the app? Because some of the people in the channel today was able to confirm things in the app, including myself. I managed to get KDB in and Rashford in. So I don't know if you managed to get them in, mate, but yeah, that's really unfortunate again, though. 2 weeks in a row. Ian, 100% agree with your comments on Soccer Saturday. Jeff mentions his fantasy team several times, as do the pundits. Exactly my point. So if you're going to get exposure, and even BT Score, right? If you've got BT Sport and you watch the 3 o'clock games or you watch BT Score, obviously you've got Jules on there. Obviously all the guys on there, Robbie Savage, they all talk about it. They all talk about people having their captaincy, and when Jules especially is an engaged FPL manager. We know that. So it's so frustrating that you see people talking about it on TV, and it's great because I almost want that exposure to happen. This is, essentially my favourite game to play, right? I absolutely love creating content for the community. I love playing it. I love football. I like watching football. So when all of these things get combined, it's a great watch. But unfortunately, when you're trying to play a game and then the website that you rely on to play that game crashes, it doesn't bode well for the community overall, right? It just means the managers that have now just been watching Jeff, Jules, and all the other pundits talk about it, like, why would I play this game? I can't even swap the character. Can't even swap the player in that I want. So frustrating. Alex, Haaland and Foden are benched. Yeah, I knew about Foden. Haaland was one that was kind of last minute. Foden was a transfer out for me anyway. But yeah, to get the news that Haaland's benched, it's frustrating. I've had to start him anyway. But I've got James Justin if he gets no minutes again. I'm going to be honest, Keith. I think Haaland's probably, and Foden, they're probably both in the squad. I agree with you that we don't know if they're there or not. But I think Foden has no reason not to be in the squad. You're still going to take him. Sashin, did you only use the website then? You didn't use the app? Did you get anything done? I honestly, apologies, mate, that's happened. I shouldn't even be apologising really because it's not my website, but you get my point. It's so frustrating. Yeah, Focal tweeted as well saying that Haaland and Foden benched. If you can actually make a transfer, app worked. So yeah. Very frustrating again. So many other content creators are doing it. It's really frustrating. But yeah, I hope people did manage to make their moves because again, it's not good for the game. It's really not good for the game. Hi Arjun, mate. Welcome. Arjun, FM. Sorry if I've butchered that name. But yeah, guys, 10 more minutes. We'll try and get some team news on the stream. We'll talk about that for a bit, and then I'll probably call it a day. But yeah, 2 weeks in a row for the website now. I know that City assets are highly owned. Including, obviously, Haaland being 85% owned means so many people are going to try and do things at the last minute. But you've got to have better infrastructure for it. Well, I'll tell you what happened for me. I actually did hit the confirm transfer button, Sashin, but then I couldn't actually see the team. So even though I hit the confirm transfers, the server crashed. I then loaded up the app, and both KDB and Rashford were in my team. I just had to keep trying to do the captain and vice captain on the app until it happened. Apparently Mitro is benched also. Damn. Absolutely crazy. I've got 2 people that are essentially in my starting 11 then that are benched. Nico Williams is in my starting 11. I have got James Justin as the first bench option. So if Mitro doesn't get any minutes, then I get him on. If Haaland features for 30 minutes or more, I hope that he gets something. It's just an absolute shocker though. Yeah, I mean, I've just had a look as well on Twitter here. So obviously there's an admin that tweets out, right, for the official FPL page with deadline passed and then how many FPL points will you get this week as a poll. And Raptors just put, honestly, I know it's not the admin's fault, but the lack of acknowledgement from FPL for the disgraceful excuse for their server is quite embarrassing. And I absolutely agree with it, mate. Like, Ross, if you ever watch this content, bud, then absolutely spot on, because they need to acknowledge it. They need to put out a comment onto why they can't do it, because all the people that are engaged at the end of these deadlines need to be told what's going on. I know we don't pay for the service, but just still, it's outrageous. Sashin, I think my captain was KDB, so I put it on my transfers just above me here. I think I managed to get captain on De Bruyne and vice captain on Rashford. But the app, even though I was refreshing it, it wasn't showing me what was going on. So I actually don't know. Will Tottenham keep a clean sheet? I don't think so, mate. No. I think we're going to get a score draw, or we're going to get a 2-1 maybe, something like that. I think that game's going to be very open, personally. Haaland on the bench today, it seems, as well. Oh, dear. Shocking. Check, it doesn't work, mate. Even if I go on live FPL, I think the website doesn't work while the fantasy game is updating. Yeah, agreed. I just had to keep refreshing it, Sashin. Oh my God. I kept getting server errors underneath. So when I was on the pick team tab, it was just showing server error, server error, server error. When I got into the transfer page, I could see my team, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything more. And it is the game week for qualifying for the cup as well. This is what I'm saying. So that, they're spoiling their own game. It's mad. Do you do Champions League fantasy content? I don't, mate, unfortunately. I think just this game is enough for me at the moment. I might do in the future. And a few people mentioned earlier in the stream about the World Cup. I'm not 100% sure I'll do it, but I think I might do. Just because I'm not sure I can not create content for over a month. Not just for the channel, but just for my own thing. I love doing it, right? So I probably will do a World Cup, some World Cup content. I want to make sure it's separate branding to essentially my Premier League stuff. So I'll have a little tinker over the weekend when I can with some bits and pieces. So I might put out some World Cup one, but I don't play the Champions League one. Yeah, I'm a United fan as well, mate. So maybe that's part of the reason why I don't play it. I did play it last year. I also played the Euro one. I didn't do too bad in the Euro one. But to be honest with you, I was watching a lot of Andy's content, and I was watching pretty much wherever Andy finished. I didn't finish too far away, I don't think, because he was pretty much my go-to in terms of understanding what to do with my team. But yeah, the World Cup will be interesting. I do like the idea of it. I'm just, for my own knowledge in football, I really only watch the Premier League. Like, I don't watch any other leagues, to be honest. I obviously watch the Champions League and I do watch the Europa, but in terms of international teams, I'm not sure if my recommendations would be any good. Sorry, I've seen the question. Cancelo playing or not? I think Cancelo should be in the squad. Yes, with Walker injured and so on, I don't think he gets benched. I can't see any lineups yet, mate. No, but I think in the next few minutes we should do. But yeah, Cancelo should be fine, mate. Should be fine. So yeah, no Mitrovic apparently as well. There's a few people talking about that on Twitter. It's a shocker. It really is. So frustrating. So frustrating. Oh, you gotta love Twitter though. Shout out to @FPL__Jack with a poll. Who are you most mad at? Pep, FPL servers, or yourself for playing FPL? Mate, I feel it. I feel you. I absolutely feel you. Yeah, so Cancelo looks like it's the confirmed 11. I'm just looking at FF Scout Luke. So it looks like Grealish is on the left, Bernardo Silva's on the right, Alvarez playing through the middle with Gundogan, De Bruyne in the 8 and 10 roles, with Rodri as a 6. Then you've got Cancelo, Ake, Akanji and Stones as the back 4, so no Diaz. You've got Edison in goal as well, so crazy. Madness. It is almost time for the teams to be out. So yeah, like I said, I'll stick around to have a little chat maybe about that. But then, yeah, I am going to dip off. But I'm happy about the KDB captain. If the captaincies did actually save, then KDB starts by the looks of it. But yeah, Haaland, Foden and Mitro all benched. Madness. So unlucky to those that didn't sell Foden in time. I don't know if anyone managed to get the captaincy sorted as well, but crazy. There we go. That's the one, Keith. I just spoke about it as well. So Grealish, he does start. So if I can't remember who it was that was talking about captaining, but yeah, good luck with that pick. I think, to be honest, Haaland probably features though, right? I feel like he will get substituted on. I'm not 100% sure that Mitro will play. So is Mitro not even in the squad? Okay, that's not too much of an issue then for me, because that means I get James Justin. So Mitro's not in the squad at all. So James Justin, as long as my bench order is right, he comes in for Mitrovic. I'm not too disheartened about that. My problem is, though, I suppose, is Andreas is my second bench. I mean, he's playing though, so it's not a terrible scenario. But I suppose Pereira could come in for Nico if Nico's benched. So I have got a starting 11. I have got a squad as long as the actual team was updated. Very interesting that Mitro wasn't in the squad. I imagine. Do we think that the injury maybe got worse for him? Because, or is it just maybe a bit of a rest? Is Serbia in the World Cup? Like, I don't even know. Are Serbia in the World Cup? Yeah, they're in Group G. So I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. If he's under another name, no, it can't be. Because they wouldn't really put out his first name. I've seen team lineups have always used the surnames, right? It's very rare that you'll see a first name in there. No, I don't think it is. I don't recognise all of those players, but definitely Kearney, Harris, James, Kazawa. I think they're all surname players. Rodak. and he's not going to go by Aradebayo, sorry if I butchered that one, and Onoma and Babu. I think these are going to be like African players, right? So I honestly don't feel like there could be a mistake in that. Terrible. So I guess I don't know if the game's going to refresh now. I'll try, but we still don't know the situation. Yeah, his first name is Alexander, but obviously he's not listed down there, is he? If Williams starts, where did we get that from, Doctor? Where did we get that from? Their Twitter, they posted the lineups. Okay, perfect. Yes, they did indeed. 3 minutes ago, yes, I see. Dennis comes into the 11. Brennan joins the attack. So we've got Henderson, Cook, Williams, Gibbs, White, Johnson, Chiarte, Yates, Freuler, Aurier, Dennis and McKenna. So, okay, I'm happy that Williams starts there. That's good. That's good. We'll be joining my FPL league. You're welcome to, sir. Good luck. Like I say, the winner of it will just be put into the channel, essentially. I don't know what I can do long term, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Yeah, William starts for Fulham. Wilson, Pereira, Vinicius. Yeah. I mean, I suppose the scenario is for me now is that I've got James Justin to come in for Mitrovic. If Haaland doesn't play, I've got Pereira as my second bench option. If Haaland does feature, though, I'm just hoping he gets some kind of return. But at this point, we know Mitro's not in the squad, so I've got James Justin guaranteed to come on. Williams starts, which is good for me, I suppose. I just need him to play 60 plus and hopefully for a clean sheet as well. Like I said, I just hope that other people's teams aren't butchered because it's just, again, it's so frustrating. I can see you followed, subscribed, everything else, Sashin. So welcome to the channel, mate. I hope you enjoy the content. I've only been limiting to one video a week at the moment just because, yeah, I was not very well this week. Work's picked up a little bit in terms of pacing. My wife's 8 months pregnant as well as having a small daughter. So I've got a lot going on in my life at the moment. So got one video a week usually, and then I do a live stream pretty much every deadline. Leeds lineup: Meslier, Christensen, Koch, Cooper, Strauch, Rocker, Adams, Harrison, Aronson, Somerville, Rodrigo. So no Bamford in the starting lineup and no Bamford in the squad. Interesting. I like Somerville as a, what is he, like 4.6 or something midfielder? 4.4. Potentially one for the watch list post World Cup. You'll be watching the stream. That's fine for me. Good stuff, bud. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. But like I say, if you do ever catch a video or two, then yeah, hopefully the content's useful for you, mate. So we reached 440 subs, which I'm very, very happy with. So I appreciate the support, guys, as always. Obviously, I can see Keith is putting in some lineups into the chat. So I hope that you guys have a successful week. But I do feel like I'm going to wrap up the stream there, guys. I've got 60 subscribers to go until 500. We might not make it before the World Cup, but who knows? It's something that I'm trying to aim for at least. Thanks for the congratulations. I'm going to have a very, very busy household in the next few months. Patrick, you've got Cody and Anderson from Palace and Mitro on the bench, but Haaland and Foden in the team. So, I mean, you're probably looking at Haaland and Foden maybe getting minutes, Patrick, at this point. But Cody and Anderson are maybe not bad options if they don't feature. Ian, you have Nico first sub to replace Mitro. Good stuff. No worries, Ian. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, like I say, very, very good luck to all of you in this game week. Again, I can't believe we've had another breakdown of the website. But, you know, fingers crossed that Pep doesn't mess around with the team too much next week, because I think then we'll get maybe a little bit more flexibility in time to be able to make decisions. But good luck nonetheless. I hope your captaincies, everything else works out for you guys. Again, thanks very much for joining on the stream. I absolutely love it with spending the time with you guys. It's an amazing feeling creating content and people saying they enjoy it. So absolutely phenomenal stuff. Thanks again for joining. Again, one more plug. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider doing so. I'll be streaming every deadline all the way through to the end of the season. I create content for chip usage, team selections, all that good stuff as well if you like watching the content through the week. But yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, join the mini league as well when the website comes back up. Yeah, but I'll obviously be streaming again next week, guys. So thank you for all your comments, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Keith, for sharing the lineups with people. Really appreciate that from you, bud. Sire, great stream as always. Thank you very much, mate. Dr. Trossard is playing as a 9. What an option then. What an option. If somebody transferred in, then very, very good luck to you, because he could do some real damage. So yeah, going to wrap it up, guys. I will see you guys in the next stream. I'll put on an ending screen rather than cutting myself off, because I always seem to do that using this software. So yeah, I'll see you in the next stream, guys. Like I say, I'll probably put at least one video out this week for a team selection for game week 16. All the best, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video soon.